Namaskara, mabuhay. We are an Indian-Filipina couple currently in an LDR setup. Today, I'm going to share our experience, the step-by-step, on how we processed our documents for a Catholic church wedding in the Philippines last 2022, even though we have a different religions. The first thing we had to decide was either we will do the civil wedding or church wedding. We both agreed on having a church wedding, specifically a Roman Catholic wedding. Even though it was our decision, we made sure to share it with my in-laws. And honestly, they were super supportive, which meant a lot to us. Since my husband is Hindu, he didn't want to convert religion, and I completely respected that. So we started searching for a Catholic church that allows mixed marriages, which means a Catholic marrying someone from another faith or belief. Right after deciding on the church, we visited to ask about the church requirements. And just a heads up, each church might have slightly different requirements, so always double check. Here's what they asked from us. First is my baptismal certificate. Since I'm the Catholic partner, I needed to show proof of baptism. You can get this from the church where you were baptized. Second is my confirmation certificate. This is usually given when you're 15 or older. I got mine at 16 years old. Again, request this from the church where your confirmation was done. The third one is the permit to marry. This is a document from the church itself. It's like written consent that both of you sign and bring to the priest interview. Fourth is the interview with the priest. Both of us had to attend. The priest reminded us that even if we have different beliefs, God should always be the center of our marriage and future family, which my husband agreed. Fifth is the Precana Seminar Certificate. It's a 2-day seminar all about married life. Very informative. You get a certificate after attending it. The sixth is the marriage license. This one is processed at your local city hall or municipal hall, and we'll talk more about that in the next part. Lastly is the certificate of no marriage or the legal capacity for my husband. Since he's Indian, we submitted a legal capacity to marry, and we'll go into more detail about how we process that in the next video. We also submitted our list of sponsors, the ninongs and ninangs, and I went through confession a day before the wedding. Oh, and because this happened during the pandemic, we had to follow health rules, masks on, and limited guests. Alongside the church requirements, we also had to apply for our marriage license. We did this at my hometown's municipal hall. Here's what we submitted. First, 2 valid IDs. My husband submitted his passport and alien card certificate of registration. Second is the PSA birth certificate. Only my birth certificate was required. I obtained my PSA birth certificate through online due to pandemic that time.
Third is the legal capacity. This was a long process wherein some documents need to be taken from India and submit to Indian Embassy in Manila, since they are the one who will release the legal capacity if marriage will be done in the Philippines. I will make a separate video on this process.
Lastly is the marriage license application form. Important tip, double check all the details you write, especially for foreign nationals. Since my husband doesn't have a middle name, we explained to leave that part blank of the form. Otherwise, it could cause confusion later.
These are the summary of the requirement. Just pause the video and take a screenshot for your reference. Again, disclaimer, the requirements vary depending on the church. This is only based on what we experience. After fulfilling the marriage license requirements, we received our marriage contract and submitted it to the church. Once that was done, we selected a wedding date that was both available at the church and agreeable to us. Since it was during the pandemic, church wedding schedules were limited. Fortunately, we were able to book a date that happened to be just a day before my husband's birthday. It's definitely a good idea to prepare all the necessary documents early, as it gives you more flexibility in choosing a date. We initially consulted our in-laws for a date they were considering based on astrology, but it wasn't available, so we ended up going with the date provided by the church. So that's it for today's video. That's how we processed everything for our church wedding as a mixed couple in the Philippines. It might be seem like a lot, but with a bit of patience and teamwork, it's totally doable. And remember, love goes beyond religion. Respect and understanding matters most. If you're planning your own wedding, civil or church, or if you're a mixed religion relationship like us, feel free to comment below. We're happy to help or answer your questions. And stay tuned for our next video, where we'll share how we process the legal capacity to marry from the Indian side. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye!